Hi, this is Amy Fong with Everest Group. I am back with Bhanushee, and we're going to talk today about the Porter's Five Forces slide and analysis in our category strategy templates. And for those of you who have been around for a while or taken a strategy class in business school, you're probably familiar with Porter's Five Forces. It's a kind of time-tested framework that helps to look at the strategy of an industry. It's often used in category management for kind of a different reason. What we want to understand is not the industry we're in. We want to understand our suppliers' industry. And especially when we're looking at complex services, we want to understand the forces that our suppliers are dealing with, our service providers, so that we can better understand where their strengths, where their weaknesses, where their opportunities are, where we may have more or less power in the relationship, not necessarily to leverage our power, but more to optimize the win-win outcomes for both buyer and supplier. So I think Porter's Five Forces can be a really interesting tool to help us get further into understanding any kind of market that our suppliers are selling from. Bhanushee, can you tell me a little bit more about our slides, particularly in Porter's Five Forces? And I will bring up an example here from Digital Workplace. Just for anyone at home, Digital Workplace is kind of what we refer to as your help desk services, your support for end users in from your IT department.
Yeah. And an interesting category to pick, Amy, because this is something that has really gained importance in the last year since everybody has started working from home. So digital workplace has really become a hot topic as far as we've seen in the marketplace. So just getting a little deeper into what we've covered in the Porter's Five Forces, as Amy said, everybody who has been through business school or been through a business class will be familiar with the five forces really that we're talking about, but just putting it in the context of digital workplace. We're first looking at competitive rivalry. So what does the market look like in terms of the competition that is there among the suppliers themselves? Are your suppliers really, do you have a lot of suppliers in the market, and do they have similar type of service offerings, or do they have a very differentiated portfolio? So that kind of gives you an idea about, how much power your supplier has as well, and how much you can negotiate with them in terms of that, and how many options you have in the market. The second thing that we look at is the supplier power. So here we're talking about the power of your supplier's vendors. So when your supplier is buying from their vendors, what is the kind of power that they have over them? So if, for instance, a vendor is buying, your supplier is buying from very standardized vendor, and he has a lot of options to buy from, that means that your supplier has a very high bargaining power. In this case, that is not true. Suppliers typically have low bargaining power in digital workplace services, and that is generally because they're buying from huge vendors like Cisco, who obviously do not negotiate much on their pricing. The third thing that we're looking at here is buyer power. So what is your power? Buyer is you, of course. What is your power in the market as a category manager over your suppliers? So over here, if you see, we have the bargaining power of buyers is high because there are a lot of undifferentiated product offerings that your suppliers are offering. The next one is threat of substitution, which I feel is an interesting one. Automation has become really hot in the past couple of years, and in fact, a lot of services categories, we have seen that automation and analytics are literally replacing what human workforce had been doing in the past. So threat of substitution is not from other suppliers or other type of companies anymore. It's more from a completely new technology that has come up, emerging technology. The last one is threat of new entry. So how difficult is it for a new entrant to enter the market? And this really depends on the regulations as well that exist in the market. And in this case, you can see that it's a difficult market in general for new entrants, maybe due to the compliance that is there and the whole regulations that are there in place. So with that, I would kind of summarize this whole framework. This is just a part of many, many frameworks that we also have in the category strategy templates. we have a SWOT assessment that we can do, or we can do a make versus buy assessment, or even, am I missing something? We have a TCO modeling as well that we have put together. So a lot of things that actually go into building an entire category strategy template together, and really take you forward to making that action plan that you're looking for the next year.
Yeah, thanks, Bhanushee. That's a great review of five forces and how it's used in category management, and specifically in this category, which everybody manages a digital workplace these days. Most people are doing it with an external third-party provider. Very few really do all of that in-house these days in large enterprises. And so really understanding all the forces in that industry are important because these are big, ongoing, long-term contracts. So you really want to get deep into this kind of category. And that's what we try to do by bringing our research and our expertise and kind of bringing it all into these templates that are category manager ready. So I appreciate you going through the detail of that. And these have been fun videos. And we hope that people will take a look at our templates and ask us more questions.